I'm Natalie Archuleta, and today I'm talking about documents. Why your mortgage lender requests so many documents. So I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to break down what's initially requested and why additional items are requested throughout the process. I know that can get a little stressful at times, but I'm going to explain why in this video today. So initially, your mortgage originator or mortgage lender will see what type of income you receive. That determines what initial documents we're going to request from you. So if you're a W-2 employee, we're going to initially request your ID, which can be a driver's license, government issued ID, passport. If you're a permanent resident here in the US, we'll ask for your permanent resident ID front and back. So those are some of the ID requirements that we'll request. W-2s, so if you are a W-2 employee and your employer takes taxes out of your paycheck, we'll ask for your 2 most recent years W-2s. Some loan programs only require we get your most recent year W-2, so we might just ask for the one, depending on the loan program and what our automated underwriting system says. So that'll determine what we ask for there. Pay stubs. We'll need your last typically 2 pay stubs. So the last 30 days of pay stubs. We calculate your income, and to do that, a lot of times we'll use a combination of your W-2s and pay stubs, or maybe a verification of employment that we request from your employer. So that's why we request those documents. Bank statements. Now, I personally don't like to get bank statements until later in the process. Some people are still saving money that they need for down payment and closing costs. If you're doing a refinance, we may not need bank statements at all. So we do need bank statements at some point. The sooner we can get them, the better. But that's a conversation I'll typically have with each of my borrowers. If they already have the funds available in their bank account, I'll request them right away. If they're still saving, or if they're anticipating a gift or something like that, then we'll wait until that's taken place before I request them, just to avoid getting unnecessary documents. So that's another common initial document, but like I said, depending on your loan originator, it may be asked for up front, it may be asked for more into the process. And then a social security card. So if you have your social security card handy and you can snap a picture and upload it, that's the easiest way for us to verify your social security number. Another couple of ways is on your W-2s. W-2s are changing, so I think in 2020, they're starting to asterisk out a lot of the social security number, only leaving the last 4. So if we can't verify your entire social off a W-2, we'll typically need either your social security card, or we have a social security form that we can have you fill out, and then we can send in to verify it that way. The form it has to be printed, ink signed, and returned. So that's a little bit of a process to do that option. So those are the initial documents. So those few initial things your loan originator will ask you for up front, typically at application or as soon as you go under contract. Now, once we submit your loan to underwriting, the underwriter is going to review everything, and they're going to come back, and more documents are typically going to be required. So some of the things the underwriter looks at, and these are really common things that are needed additionally, and sometimes the processor on the loan will ask for them up front. So they might request them from you before the underwriter gets the file. It just depends on your mortgage company and the process they use. So on your credit report, if you've had different addresses linked to you, like that you've maybe lived in or had mail sent to in the past 2 years, we'll need a letter of explanation explaining if you rented it, owned it, and it can be super basic. So I did not own this home, and then you sign and date it. or I lived here with my mom, sign and date it. So super easy. It is an additional document, but it's not hard. So that's if you've had additional addresses pop up on your credit report in the last 2 years. Another common one is credit inquiries. What that means is if you've applied for a credit card or an auto loan or any type of hard inquiry that'll show up in your credit in the last 4 months, we need a letter of explanation. And the reason we want an explanation on those is because if you have opened new credit in the last 4 months, the account and the payment may not be showing up yet. And that's very important, because if it's not showing up yet, we have to manually add it, because that will impact your debt to income ratio. So if you've had inquiries but you did not open the credit card or buy the car, you would just say applied for new credit, no new credit obtained. Something really simple like that. Sign the letter, and that's all we need. So those are 2 of the real common documents that underwriting will request after initial documents are requested. Some other things are, let's say if you've had a large deposit in your bank account and maybe a month or 2 ago you took a loan from your 401k and that got deposited in your account. Well, the underwriter is going to want to know where that money came from. They're going to ask you for your 401k statement showing the withdrawal and then showing the deposit into your bank account. So that would be a reason for an additional document there. Another common thing that happens is if you work for family, if you work for a family-owned business, we'll need your tax returns. Even if you're a W-2 employee, we'll just need your tax returns to verify that you don't own more than 25% of the company. Because if you did, then we verify your income a whole different way. We then need P&Ls and all of that stuff. So we'll ask for your tax returns if you're a W-2 employee, only if you have family affiliation or some ownership in the company. Retirement, so if you are retired and you get a pension, we would need that pension statement, your retirement statement that shows what you get gross monthly. So we'll need that. A lot of people who are retired also get Social Security. So if you're on Social Security, whether it's just for regular Social Security or disability income, we'll need your Social Security award letter. So that award letter, you get those often. It shows your gross Social Security amount. If you are a veteran, we will pull your certificate of eligibility. But if you're a veteran, your pay statements are a little different. You get a LES. So we'll ask for your LES. Typically those are for a full 30 days, but if they're not, we'll ask for a full 30 days of your LES statement. We pull the certificate of eligibility, so that's not typically something we'll ask you for. We pull that using your date of birth and your social. That'll let us know what type of entitlement you get, if you're exempt from the funding fee, etc. So if your driver's license has a different address than the current address that you live in, the underwriter is going to ask for a letter of explanation explaining why. And this happens a lot just because the common person doesn't change their ID every time they move. So what we'll typically do is just tell them, you know, this is my old address, I did not change it because my ID didn't expire yet. So just things like that. They can be very general a lot of times, but it's just a brief explanation on why it's different and signed and dated, and that will fulfill the condition the underwriter gives. So that's just a little piece on documents, why additional things are requested after initial documents are provided. That's kind of the reason why that happens. So if you have any more questions about documents, please comment below, or my phone number and email address are in the comments below, and you can reach out to me directly. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.